Wow, it's time for another show full of tips and ideas from the sales growth leadership expert, Dean Akers. Known for his experience in hyper-growing companies and creating cultures for high-performance teams, here's Dean.
Well, welcome. We're excited to have everybody back this week. Real big news happening. We launched the Adjunct CEO radio show. Our first show was at noon on this Saturday on 1380 AM Biz Radio, iHeart Radio here in the Tampa Bay market. It can be heard on the iHeart app anywhere in the world. Just go to the iHeart app and go under radio, and then just go to 1380 AM Tampa Bay at noon, and you'll be able to hear it. We had a great show this week. We had Mark Anderson with eLogic on. Did a great job. A lot of history with Mark. So if you get a chance, we're going to be putting these shows up soon as a podcast. So they're an hour-long show, a little bit longer than my crazy rants, but I think you'll enjoy them. I've got Nick Friedman coming on next week. He's one of the founders of College Hunks. Excited about that. Got a whole lineup of great CEOs around the country that want to join the show, because the show's about helping entrepreneurs and other CEOs really scale, grow, and make their businesses successful, and hear their and our journeys to know that it's okay what they're going through, and we just got to get them through it, which is kind of the premise of today's show a little bit, which we'll talk about momentarily. I've also had a lot of requests for the CEO physical. If you're an owner of your company and you want to take this free physical, it really is enlightening. You can get it just by either going on the site, adjunctceo.com. It's there to be downloaded, or just email help@adjunctceo.com, and we'll send it to you and also do a follow-up. If you're local, we'll do the follow-up for free. If you're somewhere around the country, we'll do the follow-up via phone. Our follow-ups are normally $10,000. If you come through help@adjunctceo.com and you do the physical and we do the follow-ups with you, those are free. So we're out there to help you, and the fact you're tuning in today to the show is an indicator you enjoy getting help, and we're here to help you. Today I want to talk about something. As you know, most of my shows, not most, all the shows come about by stuff that's happened in the previous weeks, or with my ninjas or folks out there. And I've noticed lately, when I work with different sales organizations, I watch this frustration of sales. So today it's really about the frustration of sales. And anybody that tells you they've never been frustrated in sales is probably lying to you. I think the flip side for me is I try to find people that will not articulate their frustration so much and let them go. So today I want to talk about a couple of the frustrations I hear a lot, that I want to give you some things to help maybe be takeaways that you can use to eliminate these frustrations. One of them that I always hear is, Dean, this is the fear of rejection. It's when I go in, the people are rude, they don't like me. It's a fear of rejection. And another common to the fear of rejection was, as a matter of fact, one of my sons said this to me years ago, my number 4 son, David. He was out and he goes, Dad, when he first started out in sales, he's since changed 180 degrees. Now he's a ninja, but he goes, I feel like a tool. And I didn't know what that meant, but I feel like everybody looks at me like I'm a nerd or weird or whatever the thing is. Again, that coincides with rejection. And I would tell you that if you feel rejection, understand that nobody you meet personally, when you make a cold call and you go in to meet a client, they're not rejecting you. At that moment, they're throwing a barrier up. It's kind of like a twitch or something. They're so accustomed to salespeople coming in and just puking all over them and throwing brochures around and all the craziness that we've come to know and talk about on the show. And so they just, the gatekeepers, the people that you're trying to call on, they don't want to see you. absolutely don't want to see you. And the reason is they've learned something very powerful. Two things. One is they know most people aren't going to call them. So if they blow you off, you'll never come back. And that's the second thing. Most people make one call and they leave. Or my favorite one is they're actually working on a deal and they lose the deal and they never go back. They go, well, I lost that deal. They don't realize that those people can buy and will buy again. So, and we're going to talk about getting rid of the rejection. And then I get this question. Why can't it be easy? Why can't it be easy? Well, I'm going to tell you, it is easy. What the challenges that people have that talks in their mind of the difficulty is not the difficulty of sales. It's the difficulty of getting over the rejection, feeling like a tool, walking in and somebody not liking you immediately. It's an uncomfortability. I say that 15 times. And so it is not easy if you self-talk and you believe in this feeling of rejection. It's very easy if you go in to meet a new person, to meet a new friend, to meet a possible person that might give you some idea in life. I met somebody the other day and it was an epic meeting. I met her. She was a receptionist. We started talking. Her daughter is into opera. And I was able to hook her up with some people that'll help her daughter. It's not about selling what I was selling that day. And honestly, I didn't care. I was more excited about helping this woman with something with her daughter to the extent she literally stood up, came around the desk, hugged me, and said, God brought you into my life. Now, I got to tell you, that was pretty heavy for me. It certainly didn't feel rejection. I didn't feel like a tool. By building the camaraderie or the hello and asking questions, it seemed easy and stuff. So those kind of things are the fulfillments I get in reducing the frustration of sales. Then I hear it, well, it takes a lot of time. Well, when I look at the value of a customer and somebody goes, well, Dean, it takes a lot of time. I just signed a customer last week for me. I did my first meeting with him, and he was explaining to his sales team about how I was going to help him and everything. And then I looked at him and I said, how long have I been working just ripping you and getting to know you, sending books and stuff? And he started chuckling and he leaned back. He says, he's been working me for almost 2 years. And then I finally said, can you help me? No, I never pitched him. I never quoted him. I never went in and said, oh, we need to do something. He finally called me and said, can you help me? Now, is 2 years a long time for this type of client? The answer is no. For your type of client, the answer is no. When you have big clients that you can get, start working them. I had a group the other day. I was sitting with a salesperson at lunch, and the person goes, yeah, they're hard to get to. And I said, they're one of the biggest potential clients you have. And he goes, yeah, but I can't get to them. And I go, so how hard have you tried? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, have you ever called them? No. Have you ever researched them? No. Have you went down my list? We got done. I said, I promise you they're going to be very difficult to get to because you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. So whether he wants them or not, he can sit around pontificating about how hard they are to get to. But if he never tries, I promise you, he's never going to get to them. And that's just math. And then people say, like I said, it takes a long time. It doesn't take a long time. If you budget out, I had a CEO go, Dean, you talk 2 years. That's a long time. I said, how long you've been in business? He says, 20 years. I go, do you have the client? He goes, no. I said, now that's a long time. If you had started with what I believe and started doing it, you would have had them 18 years ago. So don't tell me about my 2 years being a long time. And then another one I constantly hear as a frustration of sales is our product isn't the best in the market. Let it go. Let it go. Don't worry about your product being the best in the market. Ask yourself this question. Will your product do a good job for your customer? If the answer is yes, then your product, as far as you're concerned, is the best product in in the market because it does a great job for your customer. I still meet customers every day that don't know about anybody's product in a space. So it's not like it's a competitive thing with somebody going, oh, this guy's better than that guy and that. The customers generally don't even know who's the best. Nobody's ever talked to them about their challenges and problems because they don't ask open-ended questions. They're in there puking all over them. They're in there vomiting, so they never understand what the customer really wants. And consequently, it becomes a product-based sale, when in reality, almost every product will do a great job for a customer, some better than others. But at the end of the time, if the customer's using nothing, even the worst product will substantially help the customer. So if that's frustrating to you, let it go. Let it go. So here's my tip and close for the day. I want you to let go of your frustrations. Don't worry about rejection. Don't worry about feeling like a tool. Make it easy by going in and building relationships and getting to know the people. Understand the timeline. It's going to take 5, 6, 7 calls before they start trusting you for real. Budget 2 years for the big clients. When you get them, it's going to be a bigger client than you've worked on in 20 years. And then make it fun. Enjoy who you meet and eliminate the frustrations. I promise you, do that. You'll end the frustrations in your life of sales. You'll start having fun. You start making sales. You'll start making money. And you'll be calling the CEO, adjunct CEO, and saying, Dean, I'm now a ninja. Again, if you need any help, you can reach me at help@adjunctceo.com. That's help@adjunctceo.com. If you're a salesperson out there and you're frustrated, reach out to me, help@adjunctceo.com. I'll be happy to call you and walk you through and help you through some questions to help you be more successful. Till we talk, have a great week.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Subscribe today to our podcast and send questions or thoughts to help@deanacres.com. Also, visit us at www.deanacres.com to listen to prior shows and view helpful videos. Also, great tips to download. Thanks again. See you next week.